Dear students, welcome to UGC E-Patashala on Human Rights and Duties. In the paper 9 on National Mechanisms for Protection and Enforcement of Human Rights, today we will take up the National Commission for Scheduled Castes for more in-depth examination. We have already seen in the last module a brief introduction to the Commission, various challenges, constraints, etc. Today we will take up the functioning of the National Commission for Scheduled Castes in greater detail. My name is Professor Y.S.R. Murthy. I am the Executive Director for the Center for Human Rights Studies, O.P. Jindal Global University. What are the learning objectives for this module? At the end of this module, you are supposed to get acquainted with the institutional setup and the functioning of the National Commission for Scheduled Castes. And this module will also involve a comprehensive discussion of the rules of procedure of the Commission regarding its inquiry, approach and methodology adopted by it. And you will also learn about the new amendments that have been introduced with regard to the law prohibiting atrocities against scheduled castes. What does our Constitution provide? If you look at Article 46 of the Constitution, it says the state shall promote with special care the educational and economic interests of the weaker sections of the society, and in particular of the scheduled castes and tribes, and shall protect them from social injustice and all forms of exploitation. Thus, we can clearly see that the Constitution of India is committed towards the protection of all weaker sections in general and SCs in particular. To this effect, the National Commission for Scheduled Castes was conceived to ensure that there is an institutionalized mechanism to carry out the mandate of the Constitution. In order to execute its function, the Commission conducts itself with a defined mechanism laid down as the rules of procedure, the manner of investigation, approach and methodology to be adopted. All such decisions are carried out in accordance with the rules of procedure. We will now take up rules of procedure in detail in the following section. What is the institutional setup of the National Commission for Scheduled Castes like? It's headed by a chairperson who has been assigned particular responsibilities with regard to the functioning of the Commission. If you look at, there is a chart which talks about the various functions of the chairperson and his responsibilities. As per the handbook of the National Commission for Scheduled Castes, the chairperson is expected to carry out certain responsibilities. I am going to give a brief idea about some of those functions. The chairperson is head of the commission and has powers to decide on all questions and matters pertaining to the commission, and he allocates subjects and responsibilities among members of the commission. The chairperson presides over the meetings of the Commission. All important decisions in the Commission about its functioning are taken with the approval of the chairperson, and the chairperson may call for any records on any matter which he or she considers important and may take a decision on it himself, herself, or if necessary, place it at the meeting of the Commission. The chairperson is also the authority to approve annual report, special report, and communication to the ministries, departments of the Government of India, state government, or even the statements that are given to the media. The chairperson takes decision to conduct specific studies in the area of the safeguards provided to scheduled castes and shall sanction the budget required for such studies. Quite a big list indeed. Now let's take up the Vice Chairman of the National Commission for Scheduled Castes. He also has been entrusted with a number of responsibilities. He can preside over the meetings of the Commission in the absence of the chairperson. The vice chairperson performs such functions as are entrusted to him or her by the chairperson. Then we have seen the responsibilities of the chairperson and vice chairperson. What are the responsibilities of the members like? As mentioned earlier on, the chairman of the National Commission for Scheduled Castes allocates the responsibilities among various members. In the handbook says the members have the following responsibilities. The members of the National Commission for Scheduled Castes shall have collective responsibility and shall function by participating in the meetings and sittings of the Commission and looking after the subjects allocated to them. Important actions and decisions of a member may be brought at a meeting of the Commission, which may review the same. Any member may suggest items for inclusion in the agenda of the meeting of the Commission, and the same shall be included after obtaining the consent of the chairperson. Each member has overall responsibility of subjects under regions or states as may be allocated to him. The members play the role of advising the state governments under their jurisdiction on matters of planning and development relating to the welfare of scheduled castes in accordance with the decisions taken in the meeting of the National Commission for Scheduled Castes and with approval of the chairman. The Commission's secretariat at headquarters and the state officers shall assist the members of the Commission in keeping them fully informed of the problems and activities of the state and subjects under their respective charge. Now let us take up the rules of procedure of the Commission for some examination. What are the rules regarding conducting inquiry into specific complaints? The official handbook has laid down the manner in which the National Commission for Scheduled Castes could take up complaints by individuals. The directive given in the handbook lays down the following rule with regard to the inquiry. In order to enable the Commission to perform this function, that is complaint redressal function, effectively and efficiently, the Commission would like the members of scheduled castes to know that it will be helpful to inquire into their grievances if they substantiate their complaints with supporting documents and quote the relevant provisions of the Act or rules or directions which have been violated. So, what are the various stages through which action has to be taken regarding the individual complaints? First, the complaint should be directly addressed to the chairman or vice chairman or secretary of the National Commission for Scheduled Castes, New Delhi, or the heads of its state offices. The complaints should disclose, or the complainant should disclose his full identity and give his full address and should sign the representation. Complaint should be legibly written or typed and where necessary supported by authenticated documents. No action is taken on matters which are sub judice. Hence, sub judice matters are not required to be or not supposed to be referred to the National Commission for Scheduled Castes by the complainants. Cases in which a court has already given its final verdict may not be taken up afresh with the National Commission for Scheduled Castes. If Commission prima facie feels that there is an instance of allegation, thorough inquiry may be conducted by the Commission through its investigation officers, and report of this inquiry is required to be placed before the Commission before a final decision is taken by it. The cases of transfer, posting in the government service of the members of scheduled castes will not be considered by the Commission unless the specific instance of violation of rules and instructions leading to discrimination against the complainant come to the notice of the National Commission for Scheduled Castes. And what are the rules of procedure for inquiry into cases of atrocities? The National Commission has the responsibility to immediately get involved in case of atrocities against scheduled castes. The Commission has the mandate to act with the law enforcement machinery as well as the administrative branches of the state government. As per the handbook, the Commission has to follow a certain procedure in case there is any substance with regard to the case of atrocities. If after detailed inquiry, investigation, the Commission finds substance in the allegation or complaint regarding atrocity, the Commission may recommend to file a first information report against the accused with the concerned law enforcing agency of the state or district. The Commission is expected to check certain things while investigating cases of atrocities. The Commission undertakes the inquiry into a case of atrocities in an extremely calibrated and comprehensive manner. As mandated by the handbook, the Commission ensures the following: whether the scene of occurrence of the crime has been visited immediately by the collector and superintendent of police of the district on receipt of information, whether proper FIR is registered in local police station, whether names of all the persons involved cited by the complainant have been included in the FIR, whether investigation has been taken up by a senior police officer as per provisions of the Prevention of Atrocities Act 1989 and the amended Prevention of Atrocities Act 2015, whether culprits have been apprehended and booked without loss of time, whether proper charge sheet is filed mentioning the relevant sections of Indian Penal Code together with the Protection of Civil Rights Act 1955 and the Prevention of Atrocities Act 1989 and the Amended Act 2015 in the court of law. The checklist also requires the National Commission to check whether the cases are tried by the special courts, whether special public prosecutors have been appointed to handle these cases, whether police assist the courts in bringing forward witnesses and see that the culprits are suitably punished by the courts. Now you can clearly see that the Commission ensures that there is a comprehensive mechanism in place with regard to handling cases of atrocities against members of scheduled castes. In addition to conducting inquiry into cases of atrocities, the National Commission for Scheduled Castes also monitors that the state machinery ensures adequate protection with regard to compensation and relief to the victims, that the victims are provided with suitable medical assistance and on time, that adequate protection is arranged for the victims of such incidents by providing police protection, by stationing a police party, by patrolling, to see that proper compensation is paid to the victims as per provisions of the law. Now let's look at the National Human Rights Commission. What did it do with regard to the scheduled castes? At the World Conference Against Racism, Racial Discrimination, Xenophobia and Related Intolerance held in Durban, the National Human Rights Commission reaffirmed its commitment to protect rights of persons belonging to scheduled castes. In particular, the NHRC statement, which is a historic statement, laid special emphasis on the role of the National Commission for Scheduled Castes in ensuring protection of the vulnerable sections of the Indian society. The NHRC recognized the role played by the Commission in the following manner. The Commission has also taken up the issue of the rights of persons displaced by mega project, especially those affected by the construction of large dams, many of whom are tribals and persons belonging to other vulnerable sections of the society. The efforts of NHRC in this respect were greatly facilitated by the presence of the chairperson of the National Commission for Scheduled Castes and Scheduled Tribes, who is also an ex officio member of the National Human Rights Commission. NHRC asked an eminent expert called KB Saxena to prepare a comprehensive report on the prevention of atrocities against scheduled castes, which he did in the year 2004. That report conducted an analysis of the entire institutional and legislative framework regarding protection of the atrocities, regarding prevention of the atrocities against scheduled castes. The National Commission for Scheduled Castes gave a number of recommendations to Mr. KB Saxena while he was in the process of compiling that report. In particular, the National Commission for Scheduled Castes said this about the prosecution and trial of cases. With regard to the prosecution and trial of cases, the NCSC gave the following comments. Quote, "It has been observed that appointment of prosecutors is often influenced by political considerations. The remuneration paid to the public prosecutors is generally too low to attract competent and capable lawyers, and the National Commission for Scheduled Castes therefore felt necessary that remuneration to the public prosecutors be reasonably enhanced, and they should be provided basic minimum facilities necessary for effective functioning. Despite setting up of special courts, the disposal of cases is generally very poor and the pendency is rising. For criminal justice system in atrocity cases to be effective, punishment must be prompt and sufficient to deter the potential offender. The various committees at district and state level should review the pendency regularly, examine the causes of overwhelmingly large proportion of acquittals, and take urgent corrective measures to improve the rate of convictions, which is a very important gap. On the issue of relief and rehabilitation, the National Commission for Scheduled Castes has also expressed its dissatisfaction with the existing provisions which are being implemented in the current system. The SC and ST's Prevention of Atrocities Rules 1995 prescribe standardized norms for relief and rehabilitation to the victims of the atrocities or their families. The central government operates a centrally sponsored scheme under which matching share is to be provided to the state governments for meeting the costs of such relief and rehabilitation. While most of the states have started implementing this provision, there are a few states who are yet to start payment of rehabilitation package. The provision also seeks to meet the cost of travelling and maintenance of the victims and witnesses to enable them to attend the courts, etc. To facilitate effective implementation of the provisions of the Act, this provision needs to be enforced strictly. The Scheduled Castes and the Scheduled Tribes Prevention of Atrocities Amendment Act 2015. This came into effect in 2016 and includes several stringent measures for the protection of the members of both scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. Let me explain a few key features of the amended Atrocities Act. Inclusion of an elaborate definition of atrocities. New offences of atrocities like tonsuring of head, moustache or similar acts which are derogatory to the dignity of members of scheduled castes and scheduled tribes, garlanding with chapels, denying access to irrigation facilities or forest rights, dispose or carry human or animal carcasses, or to dig graves, using or permitting manual scavenging, dedicating a scheduled caste or a scheduled tribe woman as Devadasi, abusing in caste name, perpetrating witchcraft atrocities, imposing social or economic boycott, preventing scheduled caste and scheduled tribe candidates from filing of nomination to contest elections, hurting a scheduled caste, scheduled tribe woman by removing her garments, forcing a member of scheduled caste, scheduled tribes to leave house, village or residence, defiling objects sacred to members of the scheduled caste and scheduled tribe, touching or using words, acts or gestures of a sexual nature against members of scheduled caste and scheduled tribe. Several offences relating to Indian Penal Code have also been included in the Atrocities Amendment Act of 2015. Addition of certain IPC offences like hurt, grievous hurt, intimidation, kidnapping, etc., attracting less than 10 years of imprisonment committed against members of scheduled caste, scheduled tribe as offences punishable under the Prevention of Atrocities Act. Presently, only those offences which are listed in the Indian Penal Code as attracting punishment of 10 years or more and committed on members of scheduled caste, scheduled tribe are accepted as offences falling under the Prevention of Atrocities Act. establishment of a specialized institutional structure, particularly exclusive special courts and specification of exclusive special public prosecutors to try the offences under the Prevention of Atrocities Act to enable speedy and expeditious disposal of cases. Power of special courts and exclusive special courts to take direct cognizance of offence and, as far as possible, completion of trial of the cases within 2 months from the date of filing of the charge sheet. Addition of a chapter on the rights of victims and witnesses and definition of the willful negligence has been added in the amended Atrocities Act, which defines clearly the term willful negligence of public servants at all levels, starting from the registration of complaint and covering aspects of dereliction of duty under this Act. The amended Atrocities Act also has a provision regarding presumption to the offences. If the accused was acquainted with the victim or his family, the court will presume that the accused was aware of the caste or tribal identity of the victim unless proved otherwise. The National Human Rights Commission, said, in furtherance of its statutory responsibilities, the National Human Rights Commission has accorded the highest priority to ending discrimination against scheduled castes and scheduled tribes, and in seeking to eradicate, in particular, 2 terrible practices which affect members of these communities. These relate to manual scavenging and bonded labor. In respect of both of these matters, the NHRC is coordinating its activities closely with all concerned governmental and non-governmental organizations in an effort to end these terrible human rights violations and terrible practices and to rehabilitate those who have been affected by them. In 2009, the Parliamentary Standing Committee on the Welfare of Scheduled Castes and Scheduled Tribes, in its report to the Parliament, gave a number of important recommendations to improve the functioning of the National Commission for Scheduled Castes. It said the strength of the Commission should be increased suitably to assigning each member specific subjects such as atrocities, socio-economic development, service matters, etc., so that he or she may give their undivided attention to find a favorable solution to the problems and difficulties being faced by the distressed scheduled caste people. However, this recommendation was rejected by the then government. It's time that the National Commission for Scheduled Castes is viewed as an important instrument for social change, and hence adequate financial resources are made available to it. In conclusion, we have seen the institutional framework of the National Commission for Scheduled Castes in great detail. We have also discussed the powers and functions of each of the functionaries of the Commission. We have also took up the rules of procedure adopted by the National Commission for Scheduled Castes. And there was a good review of the amendments that had been recently brought about by the government with regard to the protection of the scheduled castes. Thank you.